I made a video comparing my unmedicated births to my medicated birth, the pros and cons and all that, and people were asking, well, what about my recovery? Did I notice a difference with my recovery, both physically and mentally, between those two types of births? So with my first baby, which was unmedicated, I had a 2nd-degree tear. You're most likely to tear with your first baby, and then more likely with subsequent babies to have a lesser degree tear than before or not tear at all. My recovery with her was pretty rough. I was pretty swollen from pushing for a while and just recovering from the tear. I also had a lot of difficulty with engorgement and with that first postpartum poop. Now, my recovery with my second, he was a precipitous delivery, but I did not tear with him. So my recovery, and he was also unmedicated, but my recovery was very, very smooth with him. I basically did not feel like I had a baby like at all. I felt amazing. Then with my third, I had an epidural and I did not tear again with that one. But I also felt amazing. There are some people who have very heavy epidurals and they might not be able to walk for a little bit of time afterwards, but I was up walking in the bathroom within 10 minutes. I felt amazing. I had like next to no swelling down in my perineum. I just pushed once and he was born. So all of that was very smooth. Now, keep in mind, this is just my experience. Everyone is going to have potentially a completely different experience. Now, another thing I got asked was, did I feel mentally different between all of them? Like, did I have any difference in PPD or PPA? With my first, I had the worst PPD of all of them because I really was not prepared. I didn't really know what to expect postpartum. I spent a lot of time preparing for birth, but not for postpartum. And I have a whole YT video on preparing for postpartum if you want to check it out. It's a 30-minute masterclass with a PowerPoint I made of just like preparing for it so that it goes as smoothly as it can. But yeah, PPD was the worst with my first because I was just not prepared. I really dealt with a lack of like, who am I now? And just all the massive changes in my life. I was not prepared for that. But then with my second and third, because I kind of knew what to expect, I was already used to being a mom. I knew what my triggers were. I set things in place to have that experience be more smooth. I really didn't have any issues with my second and third. So those are my experiences. I hope that helps. Just keep in mind, of course, everyone's going to be different.